Hello, I'm back. Hello for those of you who were just here for the 1 second long Periscope. I am back. I'm not sure quite what happened there, but here we are. Hi guys, I have the camera set up a little differently today because I'm going to do a little grammar demonstration. So hi, bunch of people hopping on. Hi Vicki, hi Danielle, I saw you in there. Good morning, good afternoon, it's Tuesday. I hope everybody has had a fun morning. We were downtown at the Science Museum to see an exhibit called Extreme Mammals, and it was very cool. And so then we kind of took the rest of the afternoon off. So a little introduction, I'm Mary, and I have a Facebook page at Not Before 7. That is also where I blog and where I Periscope. So it's kind of just my general handle online. You can find me there. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4 kids. They are 13, 11, 8, and 6. And I'm a big fan of Julie at Brave Writer. Some of you are here because this is a Brave Scope. And if you have heard Julie speak, then you may have heard her talk about grammar programs. And she has said that they are all as equally ineffective. So pick one and go with it. And that is what we have done. And the one that she used with her children is called Winston Grammar. And she actually announced that at a retreat where I heard her speak in Richmond in 2013. So I knew that when we picked our ineffective grammar program, I would go ahead and use Winston. But it was kind of a mystery because it's not one of the big ones you hear about, like Shirley Grammar and First Language Lessons. So I just thought I would reveal it today and show you kind of how it works and how it's worked for us, because my 7th grade daughter is about to finish the basic program. That being said, we started it in 6th grade and we're about to finish it, and I'll give her the rest of the year off and we'll try their advanced program next year. And my goal is that all of the kids would do the Winston Grammar program in middle school, and then they'll take a foreign language in high school where the grammar will all finally make sense. So here is what Winston Grammar kind of looks like. And I just want to give you a warning that the way I have this set up so that you can see what I'm doing, I'm not going to be able to see comments. So if you're asking a question, I'm not ignoring you. It's just I'm going to be on the other side of the iPad, not where the screen is, and so I won't be able to see your comments. But let me go ahead and show you how Winston Grammar works. So this would be kind of early on in Winston. Let's see if I can get that whole sentence in there. A basic sentence, and I have all these little colored cards the way they use them. Okay, we're not going to quite get the word yesterday, but you've seen it. So there's black cards, and the black cards are for the language parts of speech you haven't learned yet that you can label. Next, you'll review nouns and articles. You'll go over those. Then you'll do pronouns, verbs, helping verbs, adjectives, adverbs, preposition, coordinating conjunctions, and the last one here is interjections. The nice thing about these cards is they have the ideas on here. So subject, direct object, indirect object, object of the preposition, predicate nominative, appositive, and noun of direct address. So you remember all the functions of a noun. And on the back, just a little reminder, person, place, thing, or idea. And a reminder that you can make nouns plural and put articles in front of them. On your action card, the being verbs, it has for you the being verbs on there. So when you're first learning, you can keep these cards out in front of you as you're becoming familiar with everything. Same thing, adjectives. The big questions on the back are there. If it tells you which, what kind, how many, and how much, those are adjectives. You can also fill them in these blanks in the sentences. And for adverbs, we have the verb. It tells you that they modify an adjective, adverb, or verb. And on the back, it gives you some of the popular ones that don't end in ly, because we always think of adverbs as ending in ly. It gives you some of the popular ones that don't, and tells you the questions that it answers: when, where, why, how, and to what extent. So the cards are really helpful. The preposition card is very similar. On the back, it's that, remember, it tells you the relationship of the dot to the box. Prepositions are the words that tell you can be in, about, above, below, beneath, that kind of stuff. And it has some of the popular ones here. We added after, because that was one my daughter couldn't really remember, and it didn't fit the box diagram here. So we went ahead and added that in. So then what you do is, as you learn the parts of speech, you're then given these sentences. Like yesterday, we went to the concert, and you're supposed to identify each word using the cards. So first, we typically find the verb. So we have verb, we have went, and we will put it on there on our sentence. And then we have we. Well, we is a noun. It is actually a personal. It's a pronoun. So we would put that on there. And then to is a preposition. At this point in the lesson, they actually hadn't learned that. So they would put a black on to. Well, I'm not really sure what to is. But I know that the is an article. And I know that concert is a noun. And I know that yesterday is an adverb because it answers the question when. So there we would have yesterday. All right, and that is how they would lay it out. All right, once you have that, you would keep progressing, and they would show you how to begin to mark it. And I'm going to show that in the text here. This is what ends up being the goal, that your children can take a sentence. Instead of diagramming, they're going to go ahead and find the function of each word in the sentence. So they're going to have your nouns, your articles, get a little check, double underline your verbs. We put parentheses around prepositional phrases, and we label the preposition and the object of the preposition. Coordinating conjunction is CC. And then we have another prepositional phrase. Parentheses around it, we label the preposition and the object of the preposition. Check both of the articles. And then these arrows tell what the prepositional phrases are modifying. We do that with the prepositional phrases, and we just do that with general adjectives and adverbs. We tell what they are modifying. It deals with contractions. We went over ellipses, where like the subject is insinuated, like in commands, where it says, empty the dishwasher. Well, who emptied the dishwasher? Well, the word isn't in there, you. So it went over how to add in that word, that it's assumed, and where to write that. So that was really helpful. And once you've gotten all the parts of speech, then it starts going through the noun functions. And that is a different set of cards. So let me see, I'll show them to you. Where did I put the noun function cards? Here they are. So once you have done all of the parts of speech in general, you're then going to learn how to identify the function of each of the nouns. So you go through these noun function cards, and you start with finding the subject, and it explains to you how to find the subject of your sentence. And then you have to look at your verb next and determine, is it a linking verb or is it an action verb? Because depending on the answer to that question, then that tells us if we could have a direct object or an indirect object. So if it's an action verb, we could have a direct object. So our next card will tell us what to do with a direct object, and then if we have an indirect object. But if it wasn't a linking verb, if it was an action verb, it tells you, if it was a linking verb, it tells you to go directly to card 5. You're going to skip the indirect and direct objects, and you're going to go straight to finding a predicate nominative, if there's one in your sentence. Okay, so you start to understand that the verb determines what the function could be of the rest of the nouns in the sentence. And then we have the whole list of everything you've covered, and then you have to look at your sentence and say, are there any other nouns that have not fit one of these categories, being the subject, the direct object, the indirect object, or the predicate nominative? And if you do still have nouns left that have not been covered, then you might have a noun of direct address. And then there's also card 8, which is also an appositive. Now, we have not done card 8 and appositive, so do not ask me what it is. I do not remember any of this. We are just about to get to the card 7, which is the noun of direct address. I do know what that is. And then we'll move on to a positive, and that's really where this book ends, the Winston Grammar Basic. So I've just told you everything that's covered in it. You're never going to diagram a sentence in there, which is actually what I was trying to get away from, but you are going to learn to mark up each word in the sentence and what its function is in terms of grammar. So I have found it a really great curriculum to just hit it hard, get it done. It's 30 lessons, I believe it might be 32. Let me take a quick peek here. After quiz 4, we have lesson 29, lesson 30, and then the final post-test. So it is actually 30 lessons. By the end, you can see what's being marked up here. Let's make sure. So they're just showing all the functions, and you're learning how to mark it up. So to me, it's gotten the job done. My daughter doesn't complain about it a whole lot. I basically teach her the lesson, whatever the new thing is, and then she does, if it's 12 sentences on the worksheet, she does 6 that day and 6 the next day on her own. And if it's 10, she does 5 and then 5. So each lesson takes about 2 days, and we probably just do 1 a week, but we're trying to finish up at this point and be done before Christmas so we can end grammar for the year. So that is how it all works. If there's anyone in here, I think there's 2 people in here, and you have any questions about Winston Grammar, feel free to type them in. Who's in here? Jenny and Angela. If either of you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, and if not, I'm going to go ahead and pop off. I hope that kind of showed everyone how Winston Grammar works, and I will be back on Periscope tonight to do the Brave Scopes Challenge. All right, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.